Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Zanut here. Got a new video review for you. This is of the Black Ice NEMESIS 240GTS Radiator. Now you may have seen my previous reviews on the GTX line. Those did very well and I was impressed with their performance. So it'll be interesting to see how well these perform. Now one special note, this radiator was provided by Performance PCs and it did something special to it for me. And so we'll go ahead and take a look and see what that is, and we'll test it out and see how well it performs. Let's have a look. Alright, let's have a just quick look at the packaging. Pretty nice design packaging. We have the Black Ice Advanced Radiator NEMESIS 240GTS with the nice logo. On the side it does list all of the different GTS radiators and their capacity, and also gives you recommendations so whether it supports, you know, single card, dual, quad, if you're using GPUs. This is a nice little guide for if you're new to water cooling, you want to get an idea of you know, how much radiator cooling performance you can get. It's nice that Hardware Labs does that for you. And then on the back we have here all the dimensions of the radiator and then all the particular features. So it's got 120mm by 2 fan. This is a slim form factor design with a 2-pass radiator. You can see it's 16 fins per inch and it's optimized for sub 800 RPM ultra stealth fan. So nowadays more and more to keep noise down from your fans, you don't need to have super fans blowing through there to get the best performance. Super cruise optimization. It's got more tubing area than the Black Ice normal GTS 240. It's got increased internal coolant flow rates. Still covers the standard G-quarter inlet and outlet fittings. Has standard M4 mounting threads compatible with the Black Ice radiators, and you can mix and match radiators in the system. In my opinion, any system. Custom dark matter, high quality finish, fully ROH compliant, made from conflict-free material, so you don't have problems in your loop, and very high quality from Hardware Labs. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, Performance PCs did something special for me for this particular one, which they will do for you. They painted it. So not only did I get the rad, of course, but you also get in here mounting screws, some short and long M4s. And let's have a closer look at the radiator. They did a beautiful job. This is kind of like a gigabyte orange that I asked for. Now you can get these from them on their website. They have them already listed as you can get them with primer. You can also get them white. Of course they come black and red, but they will also do these. Now you can get them with the core painted as well or not. This is a black and orange, which is like a traditional gigabyte style, and they did a fantastic, beautiful job. Nice smooth painting, and actually if you buy it with a primer, they'll actually also send you the hanging hooks to hang them with if you want to paint it yourself. But they will paint it for you too. So aside from black, red, white, and primer, just send a note when you're looking at these to Performance PCs and tell them what color you're interested in, and they can do that for you. So this came out fantastic. Now the radiator is a 240, so it houses two 120mm fans. They have the standard spacing for that. 15 millimeters between the holes, and then between this mounting point and the end of the rad is 19.5 millimeters. And overall the length of the rad is 278 millimeters overall height, so from end to end. And then width-wise, it's from the overall width is 133 millimeters. So 133 by 278. And then thickness is 31.3 millimeters overall thickness. So that's the dimensions of the rad. Now let's go ahead and put it in the system, see what it looks like. We'll mock fit it, and then we'll see if we can also test it and see how well it performs. So guys, here we go. Here we have the Black Ice NEMESIS 240 GTS just mocked up inside of a Carbide Series Air 540 that I have a Gigabyte Z87X OC Force motherboard in there. And you can see that the oranges are perfect. They match up. I mean, the paint on the radiators is glossy, but it matches the Gigabyte orange in this build. And along with all the black and orange in here, that radiator will look fantastic going into this rig. So if I get a chance to water cool this with a custom cooling loop, that's exactly the radiator that's going into this rig. It's perfect, black and orange, and you know, even with the black from on the fins, that looks really good. So just to give you an idea of some of your options, if you buy one of these radiators from Performance PCs, they'll custom paint it for you with some select colors that they have available. All you need to do is ask, or pick one of the ones that are already available and offered up on the site, painted already. So yeah, it's a shot in a system with the right color motherboard and radiator and slots and everything else. Looking good. Alright, so we have the Black Ice NEMESIS 240 GTS on the test bench, and my plans are to really stress this guy and see how well it cools. The test bench setup is an MSI X99S SLI Plus motherboard with an i7-5930K processor on there that I have overclocked to 4.5 with 1.3 volts on the V-core for the processor. And I also have a GTX 980 water cooled as well. So both the CPU and the GPU are water cooled in this setup, which is not something you probably normally would use for this, but the GTX 980s do run notoriously cool. So so anyway, I thought that would be a good, fair stress test for this. The reservoir there is a Monsoon V2 with a 355 pump attached to it. And so basically that's the test setup, and what we're going to do from a stress test, we're going to use OCCT version 4.4.1, and as you can see there, the overclock is set to 4.5, and we're going to run it for 30 minutes. And we'll get the temperature off the cores, and we'll let it cool down for 30 minutes and do it again, and then we'll let it cool down and do it a third time. So and we'll let them cool for about 30 minutes to make sure the system gets down nice and cool, and then we'll take the average from each of those runs and subtract it from the ambient temperature to give us delta T. And so the plan will be to do that for this NEMESIS 240 GTS, and we'll also do it for the AX240, and I'll put that into a table and give you a comparison. And I'll also talk about some of the differences between the rads so you get an idea, but that's the only other radiator that I have available to compare it against. So yep, that's it. That's the setup. That's the test. Now let's get the runs going, and then take a look at the results and then the conclusion. So here we have the results of the 4.5 overclock at 1.3 volts on this motherboard with these two different radiators. See the NEMESIS 240 GTS and the XSPC AX240, the biggest difference was in the idle temps. Now remember, we're using the Vardar F2-120 fans, same fans on both, but consistently in the 3 sets of runs, the NEMESIS was about 3 degrees cooler at idle. Now again, that radiator is designed for low speed fans, so maybe that's the difference, but when it comes to the actual under load,
really 0.7 degrees better than the XSPC AX240. Really, that's in the margin of error. So really, they perform the same. I think that has a lot to do with the 16 fins per inch that these guys share in common. But so they perform the same under load, at least in my testing. But the significant thing to notice is that the NEMESIS 240 GTS does it in a smaller form factor. So it provides that same cooling, but at 10 millimeters shorter rad and 10 millimeters thinner rad.
So as you can see from the performance of the NEMESIS 240 GTS, it performs on par with the XSPC AX240. But remember, the NEMESIS 240 GTS is a smaller form factor than the AX240. It's about 10 millimeters shorter and 10 millimeters thinner than the AX240, while it is about 5 millimeters wider. So that means you can fit all this great cooling power in a much smaller space. And given all the new mini ITX cases and the micro ATX cases that are out there, this radiator is great for those kinds of builds. Now, from a looks perspective, this radiator is available from Performance PCs in a primer and in black and red and white. Now, the primer version, you can call them and ask them to paint it. If they have particular paint color that you're looking for, they did this one for me in the Gigabyte Orange, and it came out fantastic. So they have the capability to do that, and if not, you buy the primer one, and you can paint it whatever color you want. So that's a nice feature of these radiators that they're offering. Now, from a cost standpoint, the primer version is $49, and then the painted versions here are $59, just $10 more for the painted version. So, and also, you take a look at it, you can do the two-tone with the color on the outer shell of the radiator and black on the inside, or you can paint it all the same color. So again, that's completely up to you. So that's performance and looks and price. So really, I think for what this radiator offers and for the price, I think out of 5 nuts, I give it 4 nuts. So I hope you liked this video review, and if you did, please like and favorite. I'd like to thank Performance PCs for stepping up and sending me a custom painted unit so that I can show you that you can get it done your way as well. So that's it from Ron's a Nut. Thanks for watching.